The moment I sat down at her table, I realized something was terribly wrong. The cafe was quiet, filled with the soft clinking of cups and low conversations, but the silence between us felt louder than anything else. She looked up at me with calm, searching eyes, eyes that seemed to read stories people never said out loud. I was about to apologize and stand up when she leaned slightly forward, studied my face for a second, and softly said something that froze me in place. My eyes were begging to stay. Before we continue this emotional story, if you believe in kindness, unexpected moments, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who believes in good people, and subscribe to the channel Brightly Kindness. Your support helps us share more powerful stories like this. It had already been one of the worst days of my life. I had walked into that cafe only because I needed somewhere quiet to breathe. Just a few hours earlier, my boss had called me into his office and told me the company was downsizing. After 6 years of loyalty, sleepless nights, and sacrifices, I was suddenly unemployed. My apartment rent was overdue, my savings were almost gone, and my father's medical bills were quietly piling up back home. The weight of failure clung to me like a heavy coat I couldn't take off. So when I stepped into that cafe, I wasn't looking for conversation or company. I was just trying to sit somewhere, drink something warm, and figure out how my life had collapsed so quickly. The place was crowded, and the only empty chair happened to be at a small table where a woman sat waiting with 2 cups already on the table. Without thinking, without even noticing, I sat down across from her. At first she seemed surprised, but not angry. She simply watched me with curiosity. That's when I realized my mistake. The 2 cups, the way she occasionally glanced at the door, the nervous way she straightened her dress. She was clearly waiting for someone. My face burned with embarrassment as I started to stand up and apologize. But then she said those words about my eyes begging to stay. Something about the way she said it wasn't mocking or playful. It was gentle, almost compassionate, as if she had seen the exhaustion in my face and understood more than she should have. I hesitated, unsure what to do. Part of me wanted to escape immediately, but another part of me, the part that had been carrying too much pain alone, felt strangely relieved to sit there just a little longer. The cafe lights reflected softly in the windows, and outside the evening traffic moved slowly through the city. Inside, the warmth of the room felt like a small refuge from the storm my life had become. The woman across from me didn't ask questions at first. She simply pushed one of the cups toward me and gave a quiet smile. That simple act felt heavier than she could have imagined. Kindness has a strange way of breaking people who are trying very hard not to fall apart. I had spent the entire day pretending everything was fine, pretending I had control over my life, pretending I wasn't terrified about the future. But sitting there, with a stranger who had shown me a small moment of humanity, the mask I had been wearing all day began to crack. Minutes passed, and slowly the awkwardness faded. She explained that she was actually waiting for a blind date arranged by a friend. Apparently, he was already running late. There was a calm humor in her voice when she said it, as if life had taught her to laugh at small inconveniences. But as she looked at me again, she said something that surprised me even more. She said that sometimes people walk into the wrong place at the right time. Her words stayed with me long after that moment. I told her carefully, quietly, that I had accidentally taken the wrong seat, but instead of leaving, she insisted I stay until her date arrived. She said the cafe was too crowded for unnecessary embarrassment, and that a little conversation never hurt anyone. What she didn't know was that I hadn't had a real conversation with anyone in weeks. My world had been shrinking for months: work stress, financial problems, family responsibilities. I had been drowning silently, and nobody noticed. But somehow, in that small cafe, a stranger noticed everything without asking a single question. Time moved strangely after that. The minutes stretched into something softer and lighter. We talked about small things: the city, the weather, the strange habit people have of overthinking their futures. and for the first time in a long while, I felt my shoulders relax. Her blind date never showed up. At first, she checked her phone a few times. Then she laughed quietly and shrugged, as if the universe had simply decided to rearrange her evening. What amazed me most was that she didn't seem upset. Instead, she looked at me with the same thoughtful expression as before, as if the evening had turned out exactly the way it was meant to. As we continued talking, something inside me shifted. The weight of the day was still there, but it no longer felt unbearable. Sometimes all it takes is one person, one unexpected moment, to remind you that the world isn't entirely cold. Before we go further, I have a special request for you. Please comment the word kindness below if you believe a small act of kindness can change someone's life. Eventually, the cafe began to empty. The soft lights dimmed slightly as the evening grew late.